Hello again. Today we're going to talk about Revit graphics and the hierarchy of lines. So Revit graphics are object-based line styles. So what that means is we do not have a CTB file which says that red lines are 0.0 millimeters or type 4 pin. Everything is based off of the objects itself. So Revit's default graphic appearance is called object styles. So the template and each file has its own default object styles. Within here we have different categories of families, so doors, walls, etc. Inside of those we have subcategories which can then be further adjusted. So we also have line weight for projection and cut, line color, line pattern, and then materials. So within this box, these short little categorizations here determine all of the graphics throughout the project. In the line weight category, we have projection and cut. So in a section view or a plan view, you're actually cutting through things. So anything being cut will have a separate line weight than a projection. So within each project, we also have line types. So these line types are meant to be available when you're doing 2D drafting. So if I'm doing a drafting view, which I'm just drawing lines, I can use a pen type 4 with a solid line and a color. So Revit has three components of a line type. It's pen size, its line pattern, and line color. We specify all of these through the object styles, and then we have within the project the line styles used for drafting. So after we establish the object styles, which is the default standard for the project, we then can change or specify each view's individual graphics based off of the use of view templates. So the view templates are basic settings that encompass all of the object styles and other aspects of the view all in one template, so everything is always universal. So each view in Revit is independent, so we can apply whatever graphic styles to each view, but the view template is a template for making these standard. So also through the object styles, we have a material in here. The material designates the shaded view appearance, so if you're just looking at a shaded view. Also the appearance tab or fully rendered tab, the physical and the thermal characteristics, which are used for R values, energy calculations, structural calculations, etc. And it also holds the patterns. So if I'm looking at a brick wall that has a surface pattern, I would assign that brick material to the wall, which would have the projection surface and the cut surface pattern. So this is just another look at the appearance tab, which is actually using a picture. Revit fully supports procedural maps, which are bump, transparency, self-illumination, cutouts, etc. All those are using an image file, which is then put together to make a 3D texture. So once you put these all together, we put our objects into the model, and then you determine the graphical abilities, the graphical settings, sorry. So the last step, so we have object styles, view templates, and then we have what is called visibility graphic overrides, or the VG, Victor Golf shortcut key. So this box changes the view settings from the standard to a custom setting. When we build the models, we are actually just creating a 3D model. 3D models consist of polygons, faces, edges, and vertexes, which establish a 3D model. Revit has the capability of importing and exporting any 3D model type. So if I export this door to 3ds Max or AutoCAD, I can use them in a workflow scenario, so I can kick these out of Revit to 3ds Max for rendering. Revit is special because it is a parametric modeling system, which basically means we are adding rules or parameters to the 3D model to give it the ability to change, like when we're changing graphical appearances or sizes. So when we build the families, we create these parameters through a shared parameter list, which is a list of parameters in a text file. But this ensures that the parameters are the same between families and all projects across the board. So once we get all of this set and we start modeling in Revit, we then can change the graphical appearance for each view. So SD, DD, CD all have different variables which make up the graphical appearance of the view. So once we get this into Revit here, all of these views I can firstly will be set by default by the object styles. When I go to each specific view, and I can do this straight from the sheet, I can assign a view template. So if I come over here and change this to a 2D, more of a line-based rather than rendered, it quickly changes, so I don't have to go in and manipulate every single line like you do in AutoCAD. If this were AutoCAD, I would have to go in here and make every element be the specific line color, so I would then have to do that in every single view. So if I quickly go over here to some other views, I can grab this SD door, for instance, and if I change this one to a detailed render view, first it increases the scale because I have that set to a scale, but you'll see that shadows are turned on, and then I have the graphical appearance. The actual wall did not change. All I did was change the graphical appearance. In the SD views, we utilize what is called a coarse view, and that allows us to take any type of wall that is in the project, no matter how many layers it has, and you dumb it down to a solid fill and then an outline. Also, through our family, we can control visibility of different components of the door. So if I go to this door here and I go into its settings, what I can do is I can find my visibility parameters here. I'm sorry, I'm being a little confused here. Okay, so I can then come in here and turn off certain things. So what I just did there was I turned off the panel visibility, so it goes from single line to actual panel just by turning this on and off. So what I can also do is I can go in here and I can change, I can override. So right now I'm going into the visibility graphics override, and I can go in here and I can change the graphical appearance of certain subcategories. So if I change this to magenta, what this is going to do is it's going to change, but I have to actually change the appropriate subcategory. So override. And if I'm using a view template, this will change all throughout the project. Any view using this will change to a purple door swing instead of a black one. Now if I go down here to this view, I select this one, change this back to the rendered appearance. Very quickly it will change to that. So all of these things put together determines the final graphical appearance. To iterate one more time, so we have the object styles, we have the view templates, and then we have the visibility graphics override. Object styles determine the default nature. View templates determine the individual settings of the views, and visibility graphics override changes those per view. And then the last step is if I select an element here, I'll go to the wall. I can also manually override the object individually. So if I have two doors and for some reason I want to make one door be green and one wall be green and the others be normal, I can override them per object. So Revit has an awesome graphical system, and you will enjoy it as much as I do once you get used to how it functions. Thank you.